Check, check, audio check. 1, 2. Audio check, 1, 2. Audio check, 1, 2. Audio check, audio check, 1, 2. Audio check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2. Audio check, 1, 2. Audio check, 1. Audio check, 2. Audio check, check. Audio check. Checking audio. Audio check. Audio check once. Audio check 1. Audio check. Audio check. I'm sure the audio is okay. Audio check. All right. I hope I can be heard clearly. Uh, so I might need to step off a little bit during this stream. There's a delivery coming from me that I need to catch. But yeah. Okay. So good evening, everyone. Don't mind all these ones coming out here. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. How have we been? Let me get this one off. So I started this Learn Wednesday series. So starting today actually. So it's running for the very first time. This is the first video in the series where we'll talk about C sharp. So these sessions are targeted towards beginners trying to get started with learning C sharp. So let me just get some people to join here. Uh, yeah. Just a moment. I need to get some stuff rolling off here. All right, so let's not waste time and get to the crux of the matter. So if this is your first time of joining, of watching me, you can try to follow me on any of the channels shown up there. I post regularly. I actually try to let me not post too much. So I try to post regularly. Uh, oh, that's weird. So I try to post stuff regularly. And also I started a podcast and the link is down there, anchor.fm/thisdevlife. So just a moment, guys, let me attend to this call coming in. It's quite urgent. Um, All right, I'm back. Sorry for the break in transmission. Let me just open the chat to this site. Okay, so let's get started. So the purpose of this Wednesday sessions is to introduce basic beginners to what we need to know about C Sharp. So if you want to get started writing C Sharp, the possibilities of what you can do and all that. So that is what we will be talking about in this series. And today we'll be getting started with the fundamentals of actually getting your tools and maybe writing your first program in C Sharp. All right, so let's get into it. So for a moment there, just wait. I need to get my screen up. Uh, that was a little bit of mix up. I forgot to start an app that would actually make sure my screen is because I have some sort of multiple connections going on here. So it's coming up, don't worry. Aha, so here's my display here. So this is where I'll be doing all the work. And this is a brand new installation of Windows. So I use something called Windows Sandbox for this. So to get started with learning C Sharp, you first need to have the SDK in your system. Now here I'm using a Windows PC, but you can use Linux or Mac operating system, whichever one you decide to go with for. You're all well and good. So what will happen here is that I will open up the browser. Now I'll just wait for that to come up. Okay, the browser is coming up. So where I will go now is I will go to the .NET website to download the SDK that I need. So SDK means Software Development Kit. So that is what contains the libraries we need to write C Sharp. So let me just go ahead and close the unnecessary tabs. So we'll just give this a moment. So once I'm done with the fresh installation, I'll move back to my normal Windows PC for general stuff. So I'll go to dot.net, that's dot.net, dot.net, and then I would go ahead and download the SDK for my device. Just wait for that to load up. Hey Chilas, welcome. Mr. Michael, thank you for joining. Okay, this is taking quite a bit of time because I'm using the old Edge, which sometimes has its issues. So guess what I'll do? I will just drag the setup over on here for that. So I'll just let me get that out of view. So aha, it's finally loaded, which is took way too long. It's still trying to get itself together. Um, okay, while that waits. Uh-oh. So let me just go ahead to my downloads folder here and find Microsoft Edge setup if I can still locate it. Okay, so let's just try our luck. So I'll click on the download button, anything you call it is fine. So click on the download button, and then you can see you can download for Linux, Mac, or Docker. And you can watch a getting started video if you choose to, but of course we'll skip that because that is the purpose of this video. So what you want to do next is to download the .NET Core SDK. If you want to just run the apps, you need the runtime, but the SDK contains the runtime and and the libraries you need to write code. If you want to download those versions, maybe use a 32-bit system, you go ahead and select this. But I will use the second option here. So to get the default settings for my PC and go ahead and download the SDK to my device. So while that is downloading, the other thing that we will need is VS Code. So I won't be using Visual Studio for the next few weeks. Maybe when we go advanced, we will use Visual Studio. But for this purpose, we will use VS Code actually, and that is the cross-platform version of Visual Studio that's available across Windows, Mac, and Linux. Yeah, there's Visual Studio for Mac if you use a Mac, which is quite awesome. But we'll be using VS Code throughout for this. So what I'll do now is I will go to code.visualstudio.com. That is where I will go ahead and download the Visual Studio Code setup, or VS Code, if that is the name you like to call it. So that is loading. You'll try to pardon the internet for today. Oh, it's Edge on my PC that you'll pardon, because I'm not sure why it's this slow. It's normally not this slow. So let me actually quit some other running apps here. So while I wait for that to load, I'll just go ahead and quit some other running apps on my device that are not actually necessary for this stream. Credit Build 2 has to go. Let me go back to file. Okay, that's weird. It's supposed to have loaded up. Let's try that again. Okay, .NET SDK has finally downloaded, and then we'll just go ahead and run that. So let me set my phone to do not disturb so I don't get distracted. Aha, the site is loading now. Yeah, that is way slower than I expected. But I think we'll make do. So it's downloading it's installing rather the .NET Core runtime and SDKs and everything needed to run. So let me actually try to use Task Manager to queue some tasks on my PC. So while I wait for all that, oh, Task Manager is even not responding. Pretty weird. Okay, while this page is loaded, let me go ahead and click on download. So that download will start while this installation still goes on. What stuff happening here? So I can comfortably say end ADB because I'm really using it. I'll need to restart Windows Explorer because it's one of the main culprits here. So let me just go ahead and kill off some tasks. Let's see. Uh-oh. What just happened? I guess my internet. Let's just try that again. This is pretty weird. Really weird. Cause I'm connected, but VS Code website ain't going. So let's just try that again. The installation of the SDK is still ongoing. It's supposed to be actually faster than this. I don't know why it's this slow today. Okay, VS Code setup is starting now. Uh, Let me see what other apps I can close up here. Okay, VS Code done. So let me just go ahead and run that side by side. And I think maybe that is what we will spend the whole of today doing if uh, uh, but, yeah, I want to continue. I'm not sure why I brought that up. Yeah, accept the agreement. Well, you can check all these boxes if you're installing it in your own case because it's really beneficial, especially the open with code context menu because you can open any folder from inside your device when you do that. All right, so let that just go ahead and install while the SDK also goes on side by side. Okay, so if you got questions, you can ask them in the chat window. I will see them and I will get to them. So while that goes on, thanks for joining again. How many times will I say that? Okay. So I'll just wait for that installation to finish. And I think this sluggishness is actually fun because most people's devices that might be watching this might not actually be as fast as mine, and they could be maybe even slower than this. So, maybe it's just simulating the real scenario for me. Maybe my device is in the spirit. Let me drink some water. All right, that's almost done. So we just gotta wait. We gotta wait. We gotta wait. We gotta wait. Dum dum. We gotta wait. We gotta wait. We gotta wait. So for this, let me just sugar. What did I just do? So I think an instance is waiting for the other one to finish before it continues. So while this actually goes on, let me go ahead and just close the browsers because we really don't need them anymore. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and close them. Now this looks like a fresh installation of Windows, but let me confess, it is not actually a fresh installation of Windows, just a little tip while this ones go on. So I'm using a tool called Windows Sandbox. So that enables me to actually have a sort of clean environment for demos and stuff. So when I'm done with it, if I close it, everything I've installed, everything I've downloaded just boom goes away, all my configs are gone. And it's sweet for demo scenarios. You can see the title up here. Uh-oh. I think my NDI sources have gone. Just a moment. I think my displays just went all off. So just a moment, let me get those back on. So most of you will have actually been seeing a very blank screen since. Wow, that's weird. Really weird. So let me just get the live view back up. I think I need to change this piece. So just a moment, guys. Let me try to get the updated view back up. So just enjoy my face while I fix that. Um, the app should be coming up soon. Okay. So let me just check. Still seeing the old view. So just a moment, guys. Let me try to fix this. So I think the stream might go off for a few seconds while I try to bring everything back up. It's really weird. My NDI stuff ain't coming up. So what I'll do, let me just make a little bit of backup here. So just a moment, guys. I will be off for about 3 minutes, and I'll be back. So just give me about my system here. Okay. So I'll be back. I will be back. I will be back. I will be back.